And now that it's over, I'll never be sober. I couldn't believe, and now I'm so high. And now I'm so high.
And what is happening, folks? It is your boy Blake, Money Blake Weather. Welcome to another episode, Unfiltered Bachelor Atlanta Breakdown Series. I want to get right into it real quick, but I want to shout you out for listening, whatever time you're listening to this, whenever you're listening to this. I do appreciate you. If you're not already following us and this is your first episode, feel free to follow us on your favorite podcast app. Anywhere podcasts are, that's where the show is. Let me get right into it because we're doing things just a little bit different on this episode. My first co-host, you know him, you love him, straight out of the mean streets of Denver, Colorado. It's Zan Stand Forever, a.k.a. Terry. Terry, what's up, my man?
What up, Money Blake? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing, Zan?
Just chilling, killing. And man.
And our other co-host, a.k.a. Zan, a.k.a. Jeff. It's Jeff.
It's so funny that we both did this. I almost went with Zan Lives Matter, too.
Say less, fam. Hang on. Say less. Let's do it. Let's edit the name.
Are you doing it now? Zan's such a great character, man.
Oh, man. I love it. Well, like I said, we're doing things just a little bit different. And why are we all Zan? I put Zan Live Matter. Zan Lives Matter. We need lives. But why are we all doing Zan? What's up with Zan? Well, what we're doing tonight is something just a little bit different. We've never really done. We are going to play an episode of Atlanta, do a commentary over it, maybe review a little bit over it. Who knows? We're going to watch it. We're going to have fun. And y'all are going to watch it with us. So let me go ahead, pull up the show. I love that we're doing this. This is
man, it's a good time.
Yeah. All right. So Streisand Effect. So this is fourth episode, season 1. Paperboy has been through a little bit of some a little bit of stuff. Been a little legal trouble. He's sort of blowing up. Paperboy. All about that Paperboy has gone out.
Should we talk about the title first, though, about why it's called the Streisand Effect and what is the Streisand Effect?
Let's do it. Do it for me, Terry, before we get started.
So the Streisand Effect is aptly named after Barbra Streisand, and it is a thing that happened to her that we now name after her when it happens to other celebrities. And it's when you're getting trolled and you feed that troll and you just keep fighting against it. Instead of just ignoring it and letting it die, you actually flame the fires by responding to it, which is now called the Streisand Effect, but because you're just making it worse. And in this episode, we see the Streisand Effect take place where Paperboy finally meets his first troll person. And of course, instead of just ignoring it and letting it wash away, he feeds the troll, just making it worse upon himself. But at the same time, we also see that sometimes you do need an adversary for certain reasons.
Right. Yeah, like some examples, the main example, the one we get it from, is evidently like some paparazzi took a picture of Streisand's new house and she didn't want it out there. She didn't want people to see it. She wanted it off the internet. So she made a giant deal of it. And because of that, a bunch of people who had no idea what the hell was even going on immediately Googled it and found it. Mm-hmm. Same happened with the Kim crying face, the Kim Kardashian when she was doing that crying thing.
Yeah.
She kept saying, "I'm going to get it taken off the internet." Well, no, you're not.
No.
But now a lot of people are
going, I want it taken off the internet. It has now been cemented forever and copied on everybody's internet.
I think the biggest one, though, is still Queen Bee with her face,
Ooh, that was a good one.
Yeah. So those are the three that always come to mind to me. And I mean, dude, just this last week, I had to tell multiple people what the Streisand Effect was. I thought it was more widely known.
I don't even think I knew what it was.
Well, now you do.
Now, learn something new every day. The more you know.
I mean, this is mainly an educational podcast, so that makes sense.
Why would it be? Why would it be anything else? But yeah, there is always a social commentary on these episodes. It's a social commentary. All of it. That's all of what Atlanta is, and it's not only the Streisand Effect, but it's also the people that I don't want to say instigate it, but just like are the bringers of the fire, right? They bring the fire, but they don't put it on. They let you do that, right? Like Zan is a perfect example of a social media. I think they're called nowadays influencers. He's an influencer. And it's so funny too, because this came out in 2016, and this is something that is applicable now in 2022, which just goes to show that this show is ahead of its time in a lot of different ways. And every time we look back at what these episodes, like what happened in these episodes, so it's always multi-layered, and then it's always full of comedy. So we're gonna get all.
I would say right now, Kanye West is feeling the Streisand Effect. The more he just bitches about Pete David, the more Pete David in his face, the more he makes just crazy pleas, the more people are going to keep throwing it in his face.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting worse.
100%.
Yeah. But then someone like Kanye, it almost feels like he knows how to surf the wave of the Streisand Effect.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now he's selling a STEM player for $200 and the only way you can get Donda.
Well, and that's the thing. The Streisand Effect has become a marketing tool. Look at the Sonic movie.
Something of negative, but you can always maybe find a positive to it.
Yep.
Yeah. I like Kanye West is a perfect example of it. Like he's done it it's happened to him so many times where he's just like, oh, I know how to use this for good. I'm like, watch me. You'll take a little bit of that negative brunt, but he's like, watch this. I can make some good things. I know how to words, like I know how to social medias,
right?
So that's what it is.
I always think of in that aspect. I think of the Sonic movie when they put out that first trailer and Sonic looked just horrible, uncanny valley effect, and then everyone went up in arms, and then they revamped the entire thing. Well, after the movie came out, they revealed that was never the look of Sonic. They did that to get people riled up, so more people started looking at the trailer and getting into the movie.
Right? Because I went and saw
right?
that opening week because they got me. And I felt bad. I was like, damn, I'm going to bitch about the way Sonic looked and they changed it. Maybe I should go see the movie. And then I did. It was enjoyable. I can't wait for the second one.
I loved it. I'm so excited for the sequel.
That was probably the best video game movie they've ever made in the history of video game movies.
Yeah, man.
That'd be great. It's great. Is it though? Is it? We're not gonna the first Mortal Kombat. We're not even gonna.
Not even like that. It is what you want a Sonic movie to be. Jim Carrey's back on his A+ game.
Oh my god!
The mass pet detective Jim Carrey we're seeing here.
I love it. That's retro right there.
The dude they got playing the main human character. I forget his name, but I mean, he was Cyclops in the 3 X-Men's.
James Marsden, right?
Yes. Yes.
James Marsden? Yeah.
I believe that's him. But whenever you get him in a comedic role, he knocks it out of the park. Death at a Funeral.
I was going to say one of the ones.
Yeah, he was in that.
It's low-key that everybody forgets is, I think it was an old school movie. It's like 97, 98. I think it's called Sugar and Spice. And it's about cheerleaders who rob a bank. And and he plays the cheerleader's boyfriend that knocked her up.
Yeah.
So, that was one of the first times I'd seen him, and he's in the movie Sex Drive as well. He plays the annoying older brother.
Oh, the asshole! Yeah. It was all about his car.
It was all about his car.
That guy's great.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic. Well, let's get on with this one, and let's start the episode. Again, the Streisand Effect. Gonna commentary it. We're gonna start it. We're gonna have the volume turned down a bit, so those of you at home shouldn't be able to hear it too much. And if you guys can hear it, great. Is it too loud? Can y'all hear it at all?
I can hear it.
Okay. I think this is going to be great.
I can't see it, though.
Oh, it's not displaying. Oh, it's not displaying?
No, it's playing for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I know the recorder a little bit, so when you do a song like Pussy Relevance.
Pussy Relevance. Intelligent.
Bye, everybody.
I like how they can joke around with each other, like really see like they're just so cool. Oh, here he is. Here's our boy.
Zan.
I'm gonna reload. Come back in.
Okay.
Oh, that's one we forgot. Zan sexual.
Zan.
Oh, him just, like just casually throwing around the N word.
Bro, when he throws around
of course,
when he throws around the N word, I was like, "Is he even black? Can he say that?"
I mean, I think everyone was like, "Is this guy? Is he allowed to say this word?" Because I don't know.
When bass girls it doesn't make any sense.
Does not make any sense.
It's like whatever.
Man, whatever.
I got those likes.
And that's exactly what happens sometimes when you just make the stupidest things on Instagram. You just get like the dumbest things. Like I put down like my hardworking photographs that I take at concerts. Get like 20 likes. I post something making fun of like Pete Davidson, making fun of Kanye West. That thing got like
2,000
likes in 20 minutes. I was so angry.
The greatest part about this too is he's on one of those hoverboards.
Yeah, you don't notice it,
but you don't realize.
Yeah, you don't listen, unless you're listening for it.
Man.
I never gave it to you.
What a smooth line, though, right?
Yeah.
There when he says, "Hey, wait, what's your email?" Didn't even ask me. But sometimes that works.
Like, yeah, you can tell me like you've never tried that with a girl. But like, I forget what's your phone number again? I'm like, it might work. Shout out to fellas. Go ahead and use that one. Jeff, can you see it yet?
No, can you guys?
I can see
hear it.
Terry can see it.
That's cool. I can hear it.
Okay. Always on his headphones.
Yeah, we know that like a lot of episodes always start with him wearing
Like the
headphones.
first time we ever see him in episode 1, like, or not the first time, but like the opening, like after the opening like credit, we see him laying in bed and he's got headphones on with Zan. It's an interesting thing.
With who?
Not Zan.
With
Van.
V.
Van.
Yeah.
I love that the gun's facing him. I don't think I ever noticed that.
All about my paper.
Breakfast coffee.
You made that up.
The breakfast cup.
You made that up. Darius responds, "Everything's made up, my nigga. Stay woke." Yeah, everything is made up.
Paperboy, we're getting a lot of hype in the streets for a possible involvement with a murder. Is how you say not as talented as people think.
Oh, so this is obviously this is Zan.
Is how you say, not as talented.
So this is Paperboy like adding to the fire unknowingly because he doesn't know the game, he doesn't know social media, he doesn't know how it works to be a celebrity of any kind. So he thinks he's being real, which he is, and it makes the bad effect even bigger.
Well, and I mean, in his mind, someone's stunting on him, and he can't let that stand, you know.
And Ern tells him right there, "Don't bait this dude. Don't bait the troll." And when look at him, he's just typing away with his stuff, firing off like, "Don't, bro. This guy is waiting for you to respond."
Ern knows what he's talking about. Ern knows his shit.
AIDS was invented to keep Will Chamberlain from beating Steve McQueen
I love this theory.
By 69, he was already number 3 on the all-time list. By 71, he would beat that boy for sure.
AIDS was made by the government to kill homosexuals.
That too.
The 2-for-1 deal.
Oh,
yeah. Who's Steve? I love this. Who's Steve McQueen?
Man, you know, the king of cool. The guy from the Sandpebbles.
Terry, I've got to ask. Did you know who Steve McQueen was?
I did know who Steve McQueen was. I knew he was like some kind of like action star back in the 70s with a car.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First time I ever seen him was The Great Escape. My grandpa made me watch that movie when I was like 6 years old.
That's a good grandpa.
Steve McQueen. Yeah, I mean, my grandpa's great. He put me on John Wayne movies a whole bunch too. So
fuck yeah.
I remember watching The Great Escape and I was just like, hey, this movie's pretty good. I like it.
Right?
That was the first time I ever heard of Steve McQueen.
But
figured
I
I'd ask.
also wonder if the Steve McQueen is also a reference to the director Steve McQueen,
Oh, I don't think
who
I
I
did.
didn't know was black at all. Because every time they said Steve McQueen, I really thought it was the old actor. I was like, he's not dead. He's not here making movies. And then I looked up Steve McQueen. I was like, oh my, he's black. What the fuck? I didn't know who that Steve McQueen was.
You want to know what the craziest thing too about this whole scene where he's filming Paperboy? It's like he knows where Paperboy lives. Like
Right.
Paperboy didn't even think about that. Like
Right,
if he's
like
the only,
this
he's
guy-
not the only one who could be found. You know.
He was ready for Paperboy. That's why I said
Mhm.
don't date him, because this dude was just ready with all kinds of shit talking points.
Right, but I think it's just that it's like that instance too when Paperboy comes back from jail and that Batman dude is like, "You Paperboy live here?"
Right.
Yeah. And he just runs away. Like Paperboy can be found still. You know, like it's
Well, I
it's kind of
mean,
scary.
He's shooting the music videos in his neighborhood. It's not like he's being subtle or like
Yeah,
going
about
out
where
of
he
his way,
lives.
you know?
Yeah, factuals.
Cool. Is it cool if I have something of yours while you have something?
Is it cool?
Earn.
Yeah.
Earn.
Yeah.
It's such a Darius thing.
Get this sword.
What?
Trade up on it. To get you a lot more money.
Oh no!
I don't need this.
Come back, Zan.
You need the money? Take
My
it.
computer is acting funky. Oh well.
Oh no!
Hey,
Can you still hear us?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay.
Actually, let me get this sword, man.
You gonna swap it out?
Yeah, I'm gonna swap it out.
I want to know the story of how the sword got there. First of all,
Well, clearly a samurai. Duh.
duh.
But I like
But I-
how this is the beginning of somewhat of a real true story that happened, the red paperclip. Because we see
Oh,
Right,
Darius
right,
is
right.
like, if you start off with this sword, I can make you a lot of money.
Was if you didn't
But
want
of
it.
course, with Darius, it's never just that straight fucking forward.
I keep that deal.
Yeah, and I love that Darius he's the character on this show that has the foresight to be able to like be like, oh, you can come up off of this. And like everybody's like, bro, what? And he's just like, trust me, I know I got my resources. You know, I know how to do things.
So
Thank you.
one of the things on IMDb is in this episode, Darius has a samurai sword, and in the 2021 Netflix show, he voiced Yusuke. Here's a cool thing: there was this guy, real guy, Yusuke, spelled Yasuke, who was known as the Black Samurai. He was an African, I think, slave who was brought into feudal Japan in the 16th century.
Can we pause the episode?
What's that?
Oh yeah. Pause
And yeah, he
this,
became one of the best samurai that there ever was.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's he was in the court. He was rumored to be one of the members of the court of Nobunaga, like the world's most famous shogun. I think he basically united all of the Japan islands and all Japan under his rule.
Wow.
It's
And
a
one,
really
and like one of his top lieutenants was an African named Yosuke.
Wow, that's a real thing.
yeah, man.
But I wanted to pause right here because this was just so funny because here's Zan's first full-on troll video, and man, does he just fucking dish it
Go
out
in.
Paper Boy. And I think the very first thing that I love, and maybe because this song was so near and dear to me, because I always loved this song, but I never knew who the artist was, and I could never have like Shazam on me anytime it played. And he finally drops the name. He was like, the first L Paperboy took was taking the name Paperboy. A lot of people have it. And then there's that song Diddy, and I fucking always loved that song, and I never knew the name of it or who was Paperboy, or that it was named by a guy named Paperboy. And so when I looked it up, I was like, oh my god, it's that song I like. I finally figured it out. So thank you, Zan, for talking trash on Paperboy and reminding me.
All these paper boys.
Paperboy.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paper boys. That's crazy. But this is so hilarious for Zan to just put him on blast like that too. I love it when he turns to the side and his ears are bleeding.
Right now, man. Every nigga can't sell drugs. Like every nigga can't rap. When you're out here, you can't do both.
And I feel like that's a commentary on his line. Like everybody can't sell drugs and everybody can't rap. When you're out here doing both, you fucking up. And I think that's a dig at a lot of modern rappers these days. It's just like they talk about, you know, being out there on the streets and then they rap and they're like, man, you suck at both.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think that, I mean, the satire is there for, like, the message is there for like the bigger, like broad spectrum of everyone. You know, like that like I think that Donald Glover's trying to talk to. You know what I mean? Like it's for a bigger collective than just like this one person on the episode. That's always what Atlanta is, right? Like every like line or like paragraph or like minute of this can be applied to like something like actually going on in real life. And I just tried to sound smarter than I was, but I'm just saying, like that's what I was picking up.
I mean, is he Dominican?
Also, where's Jeff?
Somebody was Dominican. Wait, really? This dude? No, he wasn't Dominican.
And here's something that still wasn't revealed in season 2. Now I wonder if we're gonna get season 3 about who this guy was.
Who this guy is he describing? Yeah.
Like there's
70s tan, cleaner than the board of health.
I love how it's a Dodge Challenger, and that's the commercial in the BAN episode.
Guy gave me the creeps.
Yeah, I don't. We may never know. This may be one of those things that like is never quite tied up.
Yeah, maybe they just kind of one of those unfortunate things that they wrote about and just decided not to go with it,
or decided not to on purpose. You
you gotta say his videos are cheap, but goddamn, were they funny?
Listen, bro.
In fact, I think I know where he works.
No.
He don't know. Stop it. Stop where it steps.
Do you know if you can block someone on a flip phone?
Why?
Because that dude Zan keeps mass texting me every party in Atlanta, and he keeps calling them movements.
Movements. Is that what you call them, Terry? You call them movements, Terry?
God, it's such an influencer thing.
I don't know.
Ugh. Can you block somebody on a flip phone? I love that line.
Nice.
Chinese people are short because the gang is strong. Look it up.
Look it up.
Racism book?
Look, this dude killed enough people to lower the temperature on Earth. And if he conquered you, and you were bigger than this wheel he had, he'll kill you.
I mean, that's somewhat true.
You don't think that had an effect genetically?
I believe something like that.
Chinese people don't like black people no way. Look it up.
Look it up.
He's not Chinese.
He's not Chinese.
Right here, bro.
I want to know how Darius knows this like underbelly of society.
Right. It's just like, what were they doing? Like you see, okay, they're just
Like,
playing
these are kids
cards, hanging out,
gambling,
smoking.
right?
But then you got grandma counting fat stacks of cash.
Right.
He said, meet him around back.
She didn't even say anything.
No, he didn't. And then they don't go around back, I guess.
I think they are around back, but this has always perplexed me. This little Asian dude on the phone crying. I never know what this is about. Ma! So he starts crying. And there's ghosts behind him.
Such a weird scene.
Oh, yay.
And I feel like I know it represents something. I just don't know what it is.
Thank you very much.
And if it doesn't, I think it might be one of those things in Atlanta that's like meant to remind you, like, this might not actually be real. Like kind of like a dream almost, you know?
And then here, one more trade up. So we got the phone to the sword, to the sword, to the dog.
To the dog, yeah. I was very confused about this when I watched it, I'll be quite honest.
I mean, it's a short play on the actual story of the red paperclip, of the Canadian guy who started with one red paperclip and managed to trade his way to a house. But I think
I remember this.
Like 14 trades that he did, and he ended up with a house in the end.
I do remember this, yeah. Hang on real quick. Where's Atlanta? Come back. Oh, there it is. I want you little. And I love this new art too for the new season.
Yeah, the why can't I think of his name? He did the melting clocks.
Yeah. I know he's famous, right? Van Gogh? Is that it, dude?
No, I gotta look it up right quick. Salvador Dali. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Salvador Dali.
I had an exhibit for his. So, while we're waiting for this to load up, that painting, it says it's, that's based on the persistence of memory, painted in 1931, and it says it's one of the most recognizable works of surrealism. So that just kind of tells us where we're heading for this season, that it's just going to be surreal.
Surreal, yeah. I think that's super, how applicable, like, how appropriate is the word I'm looking for. And welcome back to Zan, both on the show and Can you hear us now?
Yeah. I love that he pulls that extra hat out of his back.
That is like one of the best and smoothest things I've ever seen on TV. It's up there with the hat toss, and just like his hat gets knocked off, doesn't flinch. He's like, "Yeah, man, let's talk. Just hop in my car," and he's smoothly puts on another one.
I love it. Like it's like it's happened before. He's just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
That's the only way you can get used to it.
And see right here, he's really explaining how you can turn the Streisand effect into your own personal piggy bank. Because like he's saying harassment, you're out here harassing. He's like, no, I'm helping you with fan engagement.
Right.
Not
like you're looking at this
all the time, but if someone's still talking to you and follows you, they're a fan nonetheless.
Yeah, 100%.
He's basically trying to tell Paperboy looking at this all wrong.
Right.
Like this is not a game of life and death. This is a game of followers, not followers, popularity, like it's memorabilia. Like this is a game of where you can make your livelihood.
He's literally describing the new version of marketing to him.
Yeah.
Yes. I scare people at ATMs.
And that's what rap is, making the best out of a bad situation, bro.
Right. You're exploiting your situation.
What?
And I'm exploiting you.
Your situation, the mag rap. And I'm exploiting you. When are you exploiting that? Money, bro. Money, bro. And he's just so right about it all.
For sure.
It's like we're all out here hustling, and it's like, he was like, what? Or he's like, so you're not like a real photographer artist, you're like a salesman. It's like
That's my business partner.
We're all hustlers.
Zan's also, by the way, like the most optimistic, happiest person.
Oh yeah.
Just nonstop smiles with this guy.
I want to know what this is bleeped out.
Right?
What is that little kid's name? In everybody's face. On everybody.
Brian Tyree's face. I would love to see the bloopers for this episode, man.
Even Paperboy's like, oh dear God.
Oh man,
I love it.
But yeah, it's just his whole breakdown right there is the entire just justification of what he's doing, which is pretty good reason, and it applies to so many things when it comes to artists and their musicians and the influencers and the fans and their haters, and it's all one big circle that feeds into each other. And there's money, bro. There's money in there. As Zan said, I record everything. You know, everything. Somebody wants it.
It's a cycle. Yeah.
You know, it's the new version of no such thing as bad publicity.
Yes.
Basically.
Word of mouth.
That doesn't even make sense.
I'm watching him. He's cool.
I love it. He gets robbed.
Right.
He just takes the pizza, and then he also he had money on him. What the fuck? Did he just get robbed?
And he's recording it the whole time.
Not even paying attention, just like, shit. He was like, what you help him? And that's when he knows. That's when he just realizes that there's just no fighting this dude. There's no real convincing him, and you're wasting your time.
And you know what the crazy thing I never really noticed about this episode is this is the only episode where they're not actually on TV where words are bleeped out. It's bleeped out even for Paperboy, like us for us the audience. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like.
I didn't even realize it. I figured with the kid that makes sense, but with Paperboy, that's a bit different.
You see what I'm saying? Like, even like it's bleeped out for a reason. It's to make it that much more surreal. You know, like what this kid is saying is even so bad that, and it's in the world of Zan. It's only when Zan's around. This is like the only time. You know what I mean? Zan is so like everything is so like it just puts me in this perspective of like his environment, everything around him is just like TV or like YouTube or like, you know what I mean? Everything's media.
Right.
Like,
everything is like ready and packaged to be
put out
on your
Instagram.
Everything he's making is TikTok ready and friendly, so it won't get.
So even his world, even the world that he's in,
edit everything that you need. He's like you said, he's all smiles.
Yeah,
you're on TV. You gotta be all smiles.
I wonder.
I never really caught
that. The bleeping was intentional, or if it was just like this episode. FX was like, the censors are getting on
I almost feel like they're setting up. Like when you're in Zan, your TV.
I think it's
ready.
Yeah, I think it's exactly to Terry's point.
Yeah,
I think it's representative of what happens when you're in his environment. Like, this is a representation of that. Because when you step out, like, you'll have everybody cussing and it's not a big deal. But like, you know, you can't say certain things on YouTube without getting demonetized. You know what I mean? So like, you have to bleep it out. So in his world, what kid's saying is even so much more rougher than anything they say. He has to bleep it out in his world just to put it up. It's really surreal, but like it's really interesting.
And now we are at the final trade of and I think let's pause it right here because I want to talk about what he says next. But before we get to that, so we're here. We're at the final trade, and it is the cane corso to a man who needs another cane corso to make puppies, and then he will then sell those puppies, which he's trading the puppies once again for the money. So it's a 5-step plan. And honestly, I was like, man, that is a good come up because, like, I don't know how many puppies a cane corso has, but each of them sells between $2,000 to $4,000.
Oh yeah,
shit, bro. What I know, most litters are like maybe like 5 or 6 puppies.
I'd say 5 or 6 on the low end. You can get at least like 12, 13 in a big litter,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we find out later, like, right, like how many are how many actually come of the litter. Not this is pay off in this episode, but down the line,
the strip club episode.
right? We do. That's the good thing. That's why I'm still so concerned about the beginning part of this episode, where we hear about this mysterious man who's looking for Paperboy, whom still hasn't been revealed yet. But
Right.
this, however, does get, it comes full circle. So they're really good about tying things in from the past, which makes me wonder, is this guy still coming for him? Is he somebody we see? Like, I'd still be, I can see how, just like it's just a TV thing. You're writing one thing, you're putting multiple stuff in, and sometimes you just forget about it, you never go back to it, and you just leave it hanging.
Yeah, you're seeing what
This
sticks to the
show's
wall.
pretty good about not doing that, so maybe we're still waiting for him.
It's things like that make you remember that, oh, that's right, Glover got his start as a writer, not an actor.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like clearly the creative juices are so just like out there, out there.
Yeah.
And I think to your point real quick, Zan number 2, aka Jeff, it wasn't the strip club episode. It was the episode where Tracy takes his money, goes to the mall, right, and like gives him what happens with that money is never really known, because like he gives it to Tracy to try and re-up, and then Tracy,
that's right,
he's doubles it on the card. He has to spend it in like 10 minutes. And so the strip club episode is Earn making money finally off of Paperboy through like the Spotify type checks or the royalty checks or what have you. But I mean, yeah, there is payoff. But I think to the point that even Terry wanted to bring up to this episode, and I think we talked about this, is like the actual representation of like, he's like, I don't have money to invest. I'm not rich. Like, I need this money now. Like, I need this for my family. I needed this money today. Like, Van needs this money. Like, I don't have extra money to just be like, yeah, I can plant some seeds and like make it grow, even though it would be better for me. I just That's right. That's not a luxury. That's a luxury that I can't afford.
It's a social commentary on all of us, man. I felt that, and that's just like, everyone's always saying, just put your money away, invest. And he breaks it down. It's like, poor people, it takes time to invest. Poor people don't have time to invest because they're trying their best not to be fucking poor. You can't invest if you have illnesses come up. You can't invest if you have a car wreck. There's just so many things that can happen into your life that your investment, you read about these people, they did everything right. They had the good credit, they had a house, boom, one of them gets cancer, and their 401k, their retirement that was over $1 million, gone.
Yep.
Gone.
And
that could happen to anybody. It don't matter if you're poor or not.
It reminds me
of dice rolls not in your favor, something out of your control.
It reminds me, I saw a thing, I think it was on Twitter once, where someone was talking about how there is such a thing as too poor to try and find a job, and someone was trying to call him on it, and they're like, no. To try and find a job, if you are so poor, that's time in your day that you got to spend working that you can't put into searching for a job. You can't afford to take time off to go to that interview, because even if it's just a couple hours, that's some money that's coming out of your paycheck. You can't afford to get the nice suit. Like there is such a thing as too poor to find a job. And things like that are real.
Where are you showering at? Nobody wants that. How are you taking care of your hygiene? You clearly are poor and homeless. Yep. Where are you showering at? Oh, go to the gym. How are you supposed to afford the first fucking gym membership? How are you supposed to get to the gym? You don't have transportation.
Well, Terry, if they cut out Starbucks and Netflix, they'll be millionaires.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, this is a huge social commentary that like sort of, along with just a lot of things about these episodes of Atlanta, just like you could have a conversation that's longer than just the 1 or 2 sentences. Like, and I think it's meant to be thought provoking in that sense of like, it's funny and it's wrapped up like, and it's all, works out at the end of the day sometimes, but like, these are real things that like are actual real struggles. I was watching something or listening to something, and somebody talked about Atlanta being like one of the first like black shows that shows like actual like black culture. He's like, it's not like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like you see like these, you know, richer black people like upper class. Like he's like, nah, like it's not like the show Blackish with like Anthony Anderson where it's like this middle class sort of suburban. Like it's always kind of been, it seems like that. And like I could be wrong too. I mean, like Everybody Loves Chris was sort of pretty real, but like it was the first one like this that actually attacked like, you know, not sitcom-y style. Like this is actual, like it's in a drama setting.
Atlanta doesn't have a happy ending.
Yeah,
and you feel that.
I was on the Reddit Atlanta. Shout out our Atlanta to all the guys that do pay attention to us when I post. I love y'all. And somebody was talking about why Van was in Europe, and I explained my theory of that she's probably going to be beating Earn at his own thing. And they mentioned, man, I just want people to stop stunting on Earn.
On Earn.
And I'm about to reply. I was like, man, I want that too, but bro, I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the whole stunning on Earn is something we're gonna always kind of see. I think unfortunately, Earn is a tragic hero at the end of all this. It's probably not gonna be good for Earn. I think everybody else might have a come up, but I don't think Earn might have the come up in the end of this.
No.
Well, I think the first episode of season 2, they kind of also point out if Earn wants to be good at the job he's chosen, managing Paperboy, he's just got to fucking take it. His job, in that essence, is to basically take all the shit that Paperboy, now that he's becoming successful and famous, isn't going to take anymore, you know? Because that doesn't just go away. It's got to be dealt with still.
Right. Oh, man.
Zan Lives Matter, something that you pointed out, you know, like, hey, you know, like, it doesn't always, like, have to be a happy ending. You don't always get the happy ending. It doesn't always work out well. I think that's what you said. Well, also remember, if it's not for Darius, what he's about to do, this doesn't end well for Earn. Even though he gets that money back later, still right now he's fucked.
Right. Yeah. And so, but he doesn't know. Like at this point right now, like,
oh, he's fucking panicking.
Yes, full on panic mode. And I love. So let's finish this up, man. But I love.
I mean, actually, whole, like, right where you paused, that look on his face is sheer panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hit the acting chops on Donald Glover. Man, so good. And everybody, it's Donald Glover, not Danny Glover. Danny Glover is Lethal Weapon. It's not Lethal Weapon.
Danny Glover's too old for this shit.
For real. And it's not his father either. So just let you know.
Today, okay, see, I'm poor, Darius. Okay, and poor people don't have time for investments.
Poor people don't have time for investment because poor people are too busy trying not to be poor.
September.
Right?
To eat today, not September.
Today.
And
And here's Darius super serious. Oh, this is still your fault though.
Got you more money.
And
did.
Darius is completely right. That's the other part of that.
He is completely right. It's kind of like maybe a look back at the saying, like, don't forget, sometimes you end up in bad situations because of yourself.
You know what? Oh, first of all, the cinematography on this, I've not like it's. We've talked about it, but like low key, look at just like frame by frame, like this is a beautiful shot.
Christopher Nolan, Batman looking shit.
Bro, it's
gorgeous.
Look at that fucking solar flare. Just
as somebody put this on a poster, I'd put this on a wall. Like it's a great like, you know, frame right there. But
I'm gonna print you a shitty 8x11 of it, and I'm just gonna tape it to your wall next time I'm at your place.
I'll take it.
Grainy printer and everything, man.
Oh no. But I think to this point, you know, this reminds me of. So first of all, it's clearly a miscommunication.
Yeah.
Darius thought he was saying one thing that he was saying, but he's like, well, but it's actually true. It is true. He's like, it is true, but also like this is what it was. You know, this reminds me of that scene in Star Wars where like Luke's like, you told me my dad was dead. And he's like, well, he was dead from a certain point of view. You know, like, fuck you and your certain point of view. Like,
right.
Communicate. Like, tell me the truth. That's just what it reminded me of for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, if anyone on this show's a Jedi, it's clearly Darius, so that makes sense.
Don't you just love that shirt he's wearing?
Keep on
right
keeping
then and
on?
There.
Yeah,
Now I
right.
finally read it. It says, "Keep on keeping on."
No, it's fine. I'm just
So it's like, man, he needs to like, yeah, there he goes.
one every month.
He needs to keep that as his mantra. Keep on keeping on this episode.
I think this is such a great scene too, right? With Darius giving him the phone, and he doesn't even flinch.
And you know, it's one of those things where at the same time, Ern has to eat a little bit of crow to be able to do that. You know,
Yeah.
that you got to swallow your pride a bit to be able to take a, because that's literally a hand. I mean, he was literally a hand.
Right. Yeah. And he's also like, kind of copping to the fact that like, all right, maybe you didn't quite understand me, even though I thought I said it in plain English.
Yeah.
So I will take some responsibility.
Yeah, I'll take the L on that one. Here's my phone, and this is interesting too because again, this is still early on in season 1. There's not been a whole bunch of like interactions between Darius and Ern.
Big one.
And this
is the first. And it's just like Darius
that
said.
Weird line from Darius that's showing that the only thing he wants in return is friendship.
He's like, we're friends now. Yeah.
And he just happily sits back in the car.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the first sort of the camaraderie and the coming together, and it's done in such like a very pure way where even Darius is like, you know what, it doesn't, like the phone doesn't, like for him, actually, I don't think any of this matters, but like for sure the phone didn't matter at this point in time.
Darius doesn't see the world that we see.
No. Darius living in the year 2075 already.
Right.
He's living in 3030 already.
He lived in 2005.
Hold up.
Another thing I love about this episode is like Darius is always doing fine money wise and everything. And like this kind of explains, like, I mean, he's just always kind of got something going, you know?
Yes.
So, but here's another question: are Darius and Paperboy, are they drug dealers together? Because they both go on the deals together. So I guess he's a drug dealer too, right?
I think so.
Of sorts, right? Like I think Paperboy is clearly like he's the guy pushing weight, but I feel like Darius makes connect. Like they're in on it. Like Darius will be like, yeah, I know a guy. He wants to buy some. Right. I feel like he's cut in on all the stuff.
VP of sales.
Yeah. He's CTO, right, or something. COO. I love it. First of all, this is the first time we've ever done something like this, so this is great.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited to do more like this, and hopefully get again some future guests on and break down some of these episodes with us as we sort of do a live commentary version from this. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, and we hadn't broken down this episode. I still remember the first time we broke this down, Jeff. We were together.
That was just you and me, man.
Back with just me and you.
Back in lockdown.
I was gonna say that's what I was getting at. It was like 2 years ago almost. When COVID wasn't played out.
So we beaten COVID, right? Because even here in Colorado, we're done with the mask mandates. Like even at like my condo was like super strict about it, and even like all their signs are gone now.
I mean, Austin went to stage 3 today.
One.
It went back to stage 3 today, Austin?
Yeah, we dropped down to stage 3.
Oh, all right. Well, we didn't care it doesn't really matter. Even at stage 5, people weren't walking around masks, so it's like it really.
It was suggestions. People were like, I'm fucking done caring.
Yeah. I'm not playing this anymore. I'm like, I bought all the masks and I got rid of them all. Like, listen,
we successfully ignored a disease.
A pandemic disease.
How do you do that?
Wait,
not even like a cold.
Just ignore it away somehow.
Did COVID get Streisand affected? Wait a minute.
Bringing it all back. Full because it's a circle.
Did we beat it with social media?
Oh, that's good.
Did we meme it away? Wait a minute. I want to know this. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, this was the last time we broke that down, I thought this was super fun. I'm eager to see how this comes out, how the fans like this. I'm going to put this out on YouTube, both on Spotify, so that way you can, if you've never watched the show, you can at least hear like what's going on in the background, what we're breaking down. I had a blast with this. But yeah, Terry, where can people find you before before we hop on to next week's episode? Where can people find you? Oh, what were you gonna say, Jeff?
Before we do that, might I suggest fans who are listening to this, why don't you guys suggest what we watch next? Which episode we do next? You know?
Oh yeah.
Let's give the fans what they want.
Which is the episode that you guys should pick out. So pick out an episode and let us know. Drop us a message, unfilteredbachelor@gmail.com, or on whatever social media platform you're on, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can message me, Money Blakeweather. You can message Terry. Terry, where can they find you if they want to message you?
Always on my Instagram, Terry F Photos. Just holler at me there.
Jeff, if people want to reach out to you and let you know what episode that they want us to break down, where can they reach out to you at?
Try and find me on Facebook, Jeff Madel, M-A-D-L. I should be the only one.
Are you serious? There probably has to be one more Jeff Madel, right?
I mean, it's not the best.
Nobody cares about that guy?
I mean, I had an uncle, but he passed away. So, I mean, other than him, I think it's just me, man. It's not a name lots of people want. I learned the translation of my last name, and it means little girl or feminine. So
in German.
So my name's Jeffrey Little Girl, and I just don't think lots of people want that.
You should just change your name to your first or last name to Zan, and I think it's gonna be great.
Oh, just do the one Madonna it up, just the one name. That'd be dope.
Yes, you should just do that. I think you'd be doing the world a favor. It'd be great.
Yeah. Hey, Zan Lives Matter. Where can people find you, bro?
Yeah, again, follow me, social media, all the social medias. Money Blakeweather, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Again, follow the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm not going to tell you which, podcast app to listen to us at, but I'm going to let you know we're Spotify, we're iHeartRadio, we're, Apple Podcasts. Again, all the big places, all the big players, they know about us. Just ask around. Google us. We're famous, kind of, maybe. We're at least on Reddit because Terry posted
All right, Lana, yeah.
Shout outs to Atlanta Reddit. But everybody, I appreciate you tuning in. Whatever time you're listening to this, just bottom of my heart, I thank y'all for staying with us if you've listened to all the Atlanta episodes. And until the next time, we will see you. Peace.
Girl, what's your problem? 'Cause I know it's hard sometimes. Baby, just give me some time. Ooh, on and out, girl. We can solve them. If you just give me some time, I can open up your mind.